guys? This is Roberto Valencia here. I'm just here to talk to you guys about some of the movies that I've seen so far here in 2018. It's March right now, so the only movies that I've gone to see at the movie theater have been Black Panther, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and the Maze Runner movie, the third one that came out, The Death Cure. Oh yeah, and The Strangers Pray at Night. So those four movies, out of the four, I guess I'll have to say yes, Black Panther is the better one of the four movies. Not saying that the other movies are bad. Like all of these movies that have come out that I've seen, not really like my favorites. They haven't been like there's nothing about them that I've said that have left me you know, go wild about them. I haven't really raved about them. They've never really like I've never really thought about them as much as like to me a good when I'm a fan of a movie, I'll go I'm I'll go watch it a second time at the movie theater, maybe even like a third or a fourth time. Five if I'm really a fan, but very few movies do that to me. Like the only movies that I've gone to the movie theater only more than once is probably with Jurassic World and with Batman vs Superman. I mean, I prefer Jurassic World more than Batman vs Superman, but I'm still a fan of Batman vs Superman. And I'm hoping that this new Jurassic World movie that's gonna come out, I will also go and watch it 5 times or 6, the movie theater, because I am a fan of that franchise. With that being said, I'm not gonna say that that doesn't help. Like if you're already a fan, or if you already have like a bunch of stuff thinking about this movie or a lot of things anticipating to see in this movie, yeah, that does influence it. That does make me, feel a lot more towards it than I would. And that's a lot of these movies I don't hold that against it. I mean, it was going to be they weren't movies that beforehand I kind of just knew that I wasn't going to buy them on DVD. And yeah, and I understand why Black Panther is doing really well, and I get that everyone is saying that it's a good movie. It is. But to me, it's just, you know, it is the most mature, and after, like, trying to rank the other movies, I guess it is better than the other Marvel movies, but I still feel indifferent about it. I still think that, yeah, I don't know, like, I remembered buying The Avengers, because that movie I wanted to see more than once. Black Panther, I don't know, like, I'm willing to see it again, but only if somebody, you know, says, I haven't seen Black Panther, let's go see it, and I'll say, yeah, sure, let's go. But that's only if it happens. It's not like I'm gonna say, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna go see Black Panther. I don't know, there's like oodles amount of content out there that I could go watch. Black Panther to me is just another movie. And same with these other movies. Like, I really liked The Death Cure, The Maze Runner, The Death Cure. There's even like the one thing that I remember a lot about was this scene where they're in a bus and the chick, like, they're running away and they're doing all of this crazy stuff, and the chick is just saying, hold on, like every 3 minutes. And I was expecting someone to say, we're holding on. They don't do that at all. I thought they were setting that up for that type of joke to say, yeah, we're holding on. They never do it. That's like the only thing bad I can say about the movie. And if that's like the only thing bad that I can say about it, then it's not really that bad. And it also, and again, it also had like a lot of very like symbolic and mature moments. Like all of these movies that came out this year, they are really trying hard to like impress us. Why haven't I been impressed? I have no idea. Like, again, I mean, I just wish that I was, anticipating this stuff a lot more than I really did. And, I don't know. I think, for the most part, so far as my favorite movie of this year, I guess it would be Black Panther, even though I really don't care about it that much. So, and, also with Tomb Raider and these other movies that have come out, I don't understand the negative reviews. I don't understand why, not that many people enjoyed them. You know, quite frankly, I'm one of those people who is not a fan of Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm also not stupid. I'm also not, blind to the idea that, blind to the fact that Rotten Tomatoes isn't, giving a rating. They're just asking, like, a number of people, like, out of 100 or 120. And, it's like they're polling these critics, and that's just it. It's like if they were to call my house and say, hey, what do you think about this movie? It's alright. And and they count that as a positive or as a negative review. My gripe with it is that sometimes, like, there's no middle ground here. Like, it can be at 50% and people can say that's a bad thing. 50% isn't bad. That's pretty neutral. You can either like it or hate it. That's the thing. But they're classifying it as like a grade school thing. Oh, 50%, that's an F. You should get 100%. You should strive for like. Look, if it's just a grade, then yeah, I'd understand how 50% looks pretty bad. But if you think about it, pleasing 50 out of 100 people, I can't please. I hope to please more than just, half of the people that I meet in my entire life. I can tell you right now, like, half of the people I've ever come in contact with, they can say something like, good or bad about me. Like, 50% out of 100, well, it's pretty even. Like, it's pretty neutral to me. Like, it balances itself out. If it's more than 50, then you've pleased, then that's more good than bad, okay? Like, that's like 55 out of 100. Well, okay, I get it. It's still an F, but these are people who enjoyed it. Like, between people who like it and who don't like it, well, there's more people who like it than don't, so that would be positive. I mean, if we were talking about politicians, they would consider that to be good. You can even win whatever position you're running for with 55% of the vote. So, that's my thing. It's that like there's no neutrality here. And they'll even count it as a bad review if you give it 2 out of 4 stars. Well, that's even. I get it. It's 50% still. That's, or even a C. Like they'll give us, if a person gives a C on a movie, that's a pretty neutral score, but people still count it as bad because apparently it's not amazing, or it's not at least a B or an A. Some movies, they can't just strive for greatness. I'm okay with a movie if it entertains me for an afternoon. And, like, it doesn't need to be like, and there's some movies that are artistic and people don't give them enough credit. So, and that's just it. Is art. Like, it's based on your taste. It's based on what you like. It's, like, but people take that too seriously, and again, I don't take it that seriously either. But people do, and it kind of annoys me. And they'll even use it like as a fact, as if it's a fact. Well, you know what? This is like emotion-based stuff. Like, you can't have me like, oh, well, it's at 50%. You have to hate it. Well, I don't. I like it. Well, you're wrong because it's at 50%. Like, I'm not gonna take that. I'm not like I'm not your friend if you do that to me. Oh, it's at 25%. And what? I'm part of the 25%. I don't care. I even feel special at that point, so leave me alone. Oh, well, that means you have a bad taste in movies. Well, that's. Well, then don't listen to me then. Not like anyone is, but, it's my life. I'm happy if, that's my. If in heaven, like, people ask me, hey, did you like Batman vs. Superman? And I say, yeah. And then they said, well, you weren't supposed to. You're part of the 25% that's going to hell. Well, then screw me then, okay? Then I prefer to be with the 25% of people who liked that movie than with the 75% who didn't, because that 75% annoys the crap out of me, okay? They don't leave me alone with that. And by the way, I don't think that's how you go to hell. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty positive of that. So yeah, and Tomb Raider, it got like a 50%. I don't understand why. Like, I thought it was just as good as Black Panther in my opinion. Okay, it's still a few things here and there. I wish for a little bit more action in some places. Not. I don't need like just more action and then just them giving me a random ass action scene. I'd actually would say this. Probably with Black Panther, I would have been okay with less action and just a little bit more action with Lara Croft. Okay, it's not like I just want action for the sake of action. No, I mean it works, but yeah. And as for The Strangers, I think it's been one of like the better like horror movie in a while. Like, I'll put it in my top 10, but like, I understand if you're like a fan of the original to not be so much of a fan of this one, because does have a different type of pace, and it's not really like that subtle, and it has a lot more action, which I appreciate. And I understand they couldn't just make the same movie as before, because come on, it's been like 10 years now. And some of the gripes with the first movie is, oh, they didn't really defend, the victims didn't really defend themselves. In this one, they do defend themselves, so. And they even get the better of the killers, or the strangers, for that matter, so. So yeah, these are good movies, and again, that one received poor reviews, and I think it's well directed and pretty entertaining, and it looks great. Like, it doesn't look bad. I've seen movies that look bad, like the cinematography looks bad, like cheap. This one didn't look cheap. This one did have like the director knew what he was doing, like more than I would, okay? Like he knows. Like I don't think I would do a better job with it. So but again, I don't think I'm going to buy it on DVD anytime soon, but I'm trying to remember what other movie. I think those have been the only ones that I've seen in theater. I did see Jumanji, but that's technically is a 2017 movie because it came out in December. And I loved that movie too because it was like what a family movie is and what it should be. Some movies are like family. Jurassic World I'd consider to be like a family movie. Like, you know what I mean about family? Like, you can take the family to, and it's geared towards the kids, but the adults also like it because it also has a lot of, mumbo jumbo. Like, it's a movie for all ages, really. And that's what Jumanji was, so, yeah. I'm gonna go see Pacific Rim Uprising this week, hopefully. There's a guy named Matthew Crandall who I'm kind of good friends with online on YouTube, and he's a half of Armchair Directors. I don't know if his other friend Michael Mercy, who I also like and follow, I don't know what he thinks about Pacific Rim, but Matthew Crandall out of the two is like the more not so strict, not so, he actually likes movies a lot more than other people. Like other people, they go into almost like hating the movie or expecting to hate it. Matthew Crandall really, he usually likes almost all movies. He's one of those guys. But apparently with this movie he hated, so I'm kind of standoffish about it. So but it wouldn't be the first time that he hates a movie and then I come out liking it. Because he did hate Assassin's Creed, and I'm not saying Assassin's Creed. Like, I understand why he hates Assassin's Creed, but I thought Assassin's Creed was like has enough potential for a sequel that I'm willing to see Assassin's Creed again, but I'm also willing to skip over a lot of stuff that in Assassin's like it was interesting. It really was like what you'd expect. What because it is kind of like watching somebody play the video game, and you know I don't play video games. I'm one of these people who tunes into with to watch Markiplier or Rad Brad to play the video game. So I'm accustomed to it. So because I am more of a movie fan than a video game fan, and I do just watch these gameplays as if I was watching a movie just to see the story and just to see what they do, like because I don't think I'd be able to do most of the stuff that Rad Brad or Markiplier can do. And that's kind of how I saw Assassin's Creed and Tomb Raider, like with that mentality. I think if you go in with that mentality, you'll like those movies. And if you're not accustomed to that, maybe that's why. Maybe, but still I think they're being a little bit too hard on it, but not Crandall. I think Crandall's a cool dude, and so is Mercy. Sure, I disagree a lot more with Mercy than with Crandall, but yeah, I'm gonna go see Pacific Rim Uprising, but that I'm going with that in mind that Crandall, who loved the first one, didn't love this one, so Anyway, I'll give you my update on that, and I'll also give you an update on my neighbor's fence situation because that guy really is starting to annoy me. And I'll talk about other stuff too. I just need, like, again, I just have this thing where, because I'm not really, like, editing these things like how I wish I, because I really have ideas to how I would want to edit this thing, but I don't know how to. I'm not really that talented with it, or I don't have, like, the right video editing tools. So if anyone can give me, like, ideas on that, or if they could help me out on that, I'd appreciate it. So alright, so goodbye. Have a nice week, guys. See you later.